Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Will It Off-Road. This is the contract season of Will It Off-Road. We no longer just do numbered versions, we actually do seasons now. And of course, each new DLC will bring a new season, as well as some other special events. Like, we will interrupt this season in just a week with a Snow 2021 season. And then, we'll resume the contract season. And then after that, there might be another season of maybe some stuff from 5M and different servers from there again. But yeah. Anyways, this is the Dewbauchee Champion. One of the two supercars that we received in the recent The Contract update. It's really weird to have the contract when you've just said the a minute ago in the sentence, but hey, it's all right. This car is absolutely stunningly, gorgeously, beautifully sexy. I know that was a lot of adjectives. It deserves every one. I mean, it is just a fantastic looking car. Unfortunately, in terms of supercars, it's just kind of there. If we're going off looks alone, 10 out of 10, one of the best supercars. But when it comes to performance, it'll be one of the forgettable ones in that regard. I'm very pleased, however, to have it in my Dewbauchee collection, because it is, like most of the Dewbauchees, just an absolute looker. That's what I was going for. Run into a bit of a problem with it here, and it's kind of the car doesn't have the best grip, and yeah, we can maybe blame that on driver error, but it was handling. I can't back up, by the way. It won't go up, and this costs it a lot of time. I mean, it's already cost it like 10 seconds. But it wasn't ever going to get a record time anyway, so I didn't start over, and I just went with it. Yeah, that costed about 20 seconds. Still not enough to give it. I mean, it would have been higher up in the overall order, but it wouldn't have been enough to come anywhere near the top of supers, even without that incident. So yeah. But yeah, it doesn't have the best grip. It doesn't have the best brakes. It doesn't have the best acceleration. It was a little bit of a struggle to get it up the mountain. Not a lot to deal with. You can see that back end is wiggling around quite a bit on me. Finding that sweet spot of where I can be on the throttle in the dirt versus where the back end is going to behave itself was a bit tough. But it's not doing poorly. I mean, we're getting close to the 3-minute mark, and we're near the top here, so. Anything that's under 3, definitely a very good time. Those that get slightly over 3 minutes, still decent. Once you get above like 3:15, you're kind of for Will It Off-Road. But, we're getting there. We're climbing. Definitely missing that 3-minute mark. But we are up 3 minutes, 4 seconds. So, will the champion off-road? Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it did all right. It's just kind of average in terms of performance, so it also did fairly average in terms of off-road. I'm laughing because what you did not see from that MOC cab was that it had pushed Donkey off the top, and it was pretty funny. And is included in the, hello rollover, is included in the behind the scenes version of Will It Off-Road, because every single week of Will It Off-Road, there is a longer, less edited, what? Okay, somebody just sent it. But there's a longer, less edited version of Will It Off-Road that not only shows you some of the behind the scenes stuff, but it even lets you hear a bit of our Discord banter. Yeah, not just a bit, all of it. So you can hear our conversation instead of my commentary, and get to hear all the trash talk and just fun that we have in these videos. And you can take part in the Will It Off-Road behind the scenes videos by becoming a channel supporter. One of 3 ways: become a YouTube member. Right on YouTube member, click that join button. I think it's as little as $1.99 a month. You can become a member. Number 2, be a Twitch subscriber, whether you paid for that sub, use Twitch Prime, or somebody gifts that sub to you. Or number 3, make a monthly pledge on Patreon. All 3 of those go directly to support me and my channel so that I can continue to bring great content your way and hopefully soon upgrade my computer so it doesn't have so many streaming woes, because I do need an upgrade. And it gives you extra perks like access to the Vainglorious Supporters channels on our Discord server, because you do have to have your Discord linked to either YouTube, Patreon, or Twitch in order to get the role. And that's where I post the link to the unlisted behind the scenes videos. So you definitely want to check those out. And supporters get other perks as well, including Priority. That's the channel I check first. I also take supporter suggestions with a bit more weight than I do from just regular viewers. I love all of my viewers and I love all of my community. But hey, let's face it, those that are helping me to pay the bills get to have a little bit more of a say in what happens at Vainglorious Gaming. That's just kind of the way the world works. So hopefully you'll consider becoming a supporter of the channel, and you too can get access to all of the wonderful perks. We are down in 2 minutes, 34 seconds. So it's time to take this back to the top of Mount Chiliad, fling it off the side, and see what's what. By the way, as we begin our damage descent, we need to talk stats. So the time that the champion got, 304. That makes it 34th out of 40 tested supercars as of this video. It is 1 second slower than the Entity XXR, and 1/3 of a second faster than the Banshee $900. Overall, it's 140th out of 320 tested vehicles, so it does make it into the top half. It is a half second slower than a Roosevelt Valor. Ouch. And 0.27 seconds faster than a Karen Intruder. So not the best company for a supercar to be in, but hey, you know, as the old saying goes, it is what it is. That it was quite the hit. And that was also a weird hitbox, the way that landed. Go back, watch that again. I don't think I had actually hit the ground when it bounced back up. Either the tree or the car was having weird physics at that particular moment. However, I do appreciate the damage model on this vehicle. Not a lot of vehicles have it anymore. Granted, the window being dented instead of broken, kind of weird. If you look at the back window, if you didn't notice before now you see it and you can't unsee it. And the window's dented. Strangely, none of the windows in this thing broke the whole time. But we're down 128.24 for the damage descent. I wonder if it's because they're bullet resistant. This car has bullet resistant windows? I'm not sure. Anyways, most of the lights are gone. The hood is missing. The doors will not close. There are bit wheels, especially that front right one. And there's pretty significant body damage done. You can see it, especially as you come around here. That front end is pretty smushed up. There are the support vehicles that we had for this round of Bullet Off-Road from the front and then from the back. And that is going to bring us to our next vehicle, the Pegassi Ignus. I mean, it's Italian, so you gotta say it that way. Ignus. Ignus. Ignus, if you're American. Ignus. If you're from the South, it's Ignus. That's my Pegassi Ignus. Anyways, I live in the South, and I hate it. Anyway, so another supercar from the Contract DLC, of course, because that's kind of the theme of the season. Even though there's an odd number of cars, so we'll have to pick like just an extra car for the final week of Bullet Off-Road for this season. And then once the season wraps, there's like bonus episodes. We take the 2 fastest and the 2 slowest vehicles from the DLC and we race them in Bullet Off-Road at the races. So it's the exact same course, but instead of using a timer and everything, we're all just racing against each other to get to the top, back down, back up, back down. And it's a lot of fun because there's a lot of ridiculous props on the path. Plus, it's a whole different ball game, racing versus trying to get, you know, the best time out of it. The best time is not always the best racer. It's kind of hard to explain, but it does work that way. Ignus is struggling a little bit here at first, kind of bouncing around a little bit, and you would think that's going to put it in jeopardy for, you know, its time, but keep an eye on that clock, because it's going to go by pretty damn quick. And while you're keeping an eye on that clock, also click on the link in the description down below that takes you to Will It Off-Road Bingo, where you can click generate new card and then tap or click on the things that happen in the video. And if you get bingo, you can leave a comment down below. We've only had 3 or 4 bingo winners in the entire history of Will It Off-Road. There's about 60 or 70 possible squares you can get. So there's a lot of different stuff that happens from video to video that's fairly common, and they're on there. It's all on there. So definitely play Will It Off-Road Bingo with us and see if you can't win. Hey, play 2 or 3 cards if you're feeling lucky. This looks like it's really slow, but it really isn't, because, oh gosh, here it comes. Hiker down. Ooh, bounced off the fence. Yes. I mean, all kinds of issues like this. You know, it's bouncing around, doesn't look like it's going very fast. But in the end, it does really well. And by the way, you can check the performance of all the vehicles also in the description down below. There's a link to a Google Sheet. They're broken down, just 1 through 320 for that rank. Then they're broken down by class. We also have a tuners subcategory, Project Homecoming category, and a snow category. But we're up 2 minutes, 34, almost 35 seconds. So will it off-road? Yeah, it will. And that makes the Ignus the new #1 fastest supercar to climb the mountain. That unseats the long reigning champ in supers of the Nero Custom, which has held it since the Nero Custom was a thing. So when did that come out? Like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now? I don't even remember. But yeah, the Nero Custom has been up there with the best time, and now the Ignus comes along, and Ignus, it's the Ignus. I don't know. 1.5 seconds faster than the Nero Custom. So not only beat it, but kind of crushed it, because 1.5 seconds is a lot in a race. Overall, out of 320 vehicles, it's 19th, so just there, holding on to that top 20 position. Let you know there's not a whole lot of supercars up there in the top 20, doesn't it? It is 1.42 seconds slower than a Vapid Desert Raid. Those off-road trucks do really well. And it is 0.07 seconds faster than the Ubermacht Cypher. And it's 1.07 seconds faster than a business model. No, I don't know. So yeah, just barely beating out the Ubermacht Cypher for 19th position. Cypher right there behind it in 20th. And I was really impressed when I saw the numbers when I edited the video, because when I recorded it, it just didn't seem like it was all that fast. Like I didn't think I had a record breaker at all, because, you know, it had issues. Without those issues, it could have gotten probably a top 10 spot, because the gap from 1 through 20 is not big. I think it spans like 7.5, 8 seconds maybe, except for the very top vehicle, which we don't really even count anyway, so it's a helicopter, and that was just done as a joke. But yeah, it did surprisingly well, and I'm kind of amazed, because it just goes to show that a vehicle may not be the best in performance around a regular racetrack, but everything changes once you start climbing a mountain. And what may not do well on just road courses does really well. By the way, we're down 2 minutes 21. But something that doesn't do well on a racetrack can do really, really well going up and down a mountain. I will be surprised if we don't see this in Will It Off-Road at the races for this season, because a 234, is that what it was? I think so. That's a good number. I mean, not many vehicles have managed to turn in that good of a performance. So well, obviously only 18 have done better, and really only 17, because again, the buzzard kind of doesn't count. Man, everybody's all over the place on this, and there's even a helicopter. Oh, helicopter that just kind of booped somebody. Rocket was falling. Yeah, there were issues that were had between some of the people. Because we had to, you could tell, it was kind of late in the evening when we did our controlled descent, and now it's early morning when we're doing the damage descent, so we had to spend the night on top of the mountain. Yeah, you spend the night on the top of the mountain with the Vainglorious, and, well, let's just say shenanigans are to be had. Oh, I broke the active aerodynamics spoiler. It's such a long thing. Active aerodynamics. Can't we just say robo spoiler? Can we just all agree from now on that all active aero is robo aero? I guess it's no shorter, is it? Oh well. Robo spoiler. I like robo spoiler. It's broken though. It's not coming up anymore. A lot of people don't know the Ignus has that because they put a spoiler on it in LSC because they see that the spoiler gives them better traction. Look at that. Over the wood pile. Yes. Lose a few body parts doing it. 141 that we're down. But anyways, a lot of people put spoiler on, see better traction, never even realized that this thing has those aerodynamics. So the windshield is gone. Most of the lights are missing. The hood, the trunk, and the right door have been left behind. Some of it's just right there ahead of us on the highway. The left door will not close. J-Bose needs to learn how to dance. And there is minor body damage to the Ignus. And wow, this is a really slow spin around shot. There we go, it's done. There's what's left, even though somebody had to call in one of their vehicles, so no, it did not get down that unscathed. But there's the support vehicles that actually made it, and that's going to do it for the inaugural episode of the contract season of Will It Off-Road. Hope you'll join us again next week when it'll be Will It Off-Road in the snow. So we're immediately going to preempt our own season with something else. But make sure you're playing Will Off-Road Bingo and come hang out with us on the Vainglorious Discord server. We would love to have you. The links for all that are down below, and some of those have even been in the video as you've been watching it. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.